Lila Bennett's scream tore through the 10th floor men's room at Carter Tech, loud enough to rattle the Golden Gate Bridge 5 miles away. Hey, my wild San Francisco fam. Welcome to Soul and Love Stories. Your hotspot for drama spicier than a Phil's coffee morning jolt, sweeter than fresh-baked boudin sourdough, and packed with twists wilder than Pacific waves crashing Half Moon Bay. Every time you hit play, every comment you drop is a fist bump of love that gets me hyped. Holy cow, this crew's cooler than a triple-shot latte making my hands shake. You're the heart, the laughs, the reason I keep spinning these tales. I love you guys so much I'd tumble off a Nob Hill cable car for you, swear to God. Take a deep breath with me, fam. Soak in that foggy San Fran vibe, the golden Cali sun, the fish taco melt in your mouth magic from Fisherman's Wharf. Amen. Feel my warm hug yet? Holler in the comments. Are you vibin'? I need your takes to crank this up, so spill it fast. Don't leave me hanging, I'll cry. Roll call, toss your city or state down below, smash that subscribe, hit the bell quick. No sub, you're missing out big time, I promise. Ready? Today we're diving headfirst into San Francisco, where a klutzy interpreter slams into the wrong bathroom, turns a tech empire upside down. A faceplant flop that kicks off a roller coaster of crazy drama. It's 8:55 a.m., San Francisco draped in drizzly fog, the glass towers on Market Street gleaming like they've been hosed down with bay water. Lila Bennett, 27, brown hair a hot mess like the Golden Gate winds got her, clutching her laptop like it's her last lifeline, is having the worst morning ever. First day as an interpreter at Carter Tech, Silicon Valley's shiny tech titan, and she's already late for a 9 o'clock meeting, all thanks to a Phil's triple shot that hit her gut like a tidal wave. She bolts down the glossy hallway, heels clacking like a runaway cable car, sweat pouring like the rain outside. 5 minutes left, and her stomach's howling like a foghorn in a storm. "Bathroom stat," she mutters, eyes darting for a sign. Spotting a stick figure silhouette on a door, she doesn't think twice. Shoves it open, charges to the sink, and, whew, splashes cold water on her face. Mid-relief, she freezes. No mirrors, no trash bins, just a weird vibe and voices? "Man, this quarter's report is a total train wreck," a deep voice grumbles nearby. "Carter's gonna lose it." Lila goes stiff, wondering if she's still sane. Men's voices? She blinks 3 times, nope, not dreaming, and spins around as the stall door creaks open. Ethan Carter, CEO of Carter Tech, San Francisco's iciest big shot, steps out, fresh from a post-gym shower, a white towel slung low on his hips, abs glinting like a Hollywood ad. His stormy gray eyes lock on hers and he yells, "What the hell?" staggering back like she's a ghost. Lila shrieks again, hoisting her laptop like a shield. It slips, smacks the emergency button on the wall. Bees! Alarms blare, lights flash, and sprinklers unleash a downpour like an Alcatraz monsoon. "I didn't see anything! Swear!" she yells, hands over her eyes, though yeah, she totally scoped those abs. Ethan, soaked, roars, "You trashing the place now?" The door flies open. A security guard barrels in, shouting, "Mr. Carter, 911? Lila, hair plastered to her face, stammers, "No! I'm testing the sprinklers!" Water sprays everywhere. She slips on the mat, thanks Phil's, and crashes down, knocking over a janitor's bucket in a flood. Ethan leaps back, towel slipping an inch, Lila's face flaming. "I'm toast! Hired and wrecked the joint in 10 minutes!" Ethan pinches his nose, water dripping from his hair. "Where's the hidden camera?" "Ashton Kutcher, get out here!" Lila scrambles up, bangs her head on the stall. "Ow! No, I just needed—" She flails toward the sink, then freezes. "You're Ethan Carter, the CEO?" He glares. "And you're in my bathroom, why?" "I'm your new interpreter," she squeaks, voice cracking like a foghorn. "Lila Bennett. First day, wrong door, total meltdown." The air thickens. San Francisco fog creeping between them, alarms still wailing. Ethan grabs his shirt, muttering, Get out before the whole city thinks I'm kidnapping you. Lila bolts, tripping over the bucket again, leaving a drowned floor and a stunned CEO. First day? Nah. This is chaos unleashed. Lila Bennett bolted out of the men's room, face red as a San Francisco fire truck, hair plastered wet like she'd been dunked by an Alcatraz wave, heart pounding like a foghorn in a storm. After her epic wrecking ball moment, alarms blaring, sprinklers soaking everything, she darted down Carter Tech's slick hallway, the tangy scent of Boudin sourdough wafting from nearby, trying to pull herself together before the meeting. But when she shoved the conference room door open, she nearly tripped again. Ethan Carter was already there, black shirt clinging damp from her indoor rain, slicked back hair now slightly mussed, gray eyes slicing through her like a Silicon Valley laser. "You," he said, voice low and rumbling enough to shake the table, "are my interpreter." Lila swallowed hard, clutching her laptop, now sporting extra scratches from the emergency button fiasco. "Yes, Mr. Carter," she stammered, plopping down among the execs as the room went dead silent, tense as a Haight-Ashbury guitar string. Ethan tapped his fingers on the table, slow and deliberate. "You've got 1 week to prove you're not a national disaster. One more screw-up. You're out." Lila nodded, thinking, "A week with this guy? I'd rather swim across Alcatraz Bay." Ethan wasn't kidding. Day 1, he tossed her a 50-page report, barking, "Translate it to Japanese, 2 hours." Lila grabbed her Phil's coffee, the same culprit from this morning, hoping for a boost, but her shaky hand sent it splashing across his desk. "Oh no, I just coffee-washed the report," she yelped, face flaming like a fisherman's wharf boiled shrimp. Ethan glared, drips pattering onto his shirt. "What, opening a Phil's franchise here?" Lila forced a grin. "You ever heard of time, or do CEOs live in their own zone?" He didn't answer, just pointed at the soggy pile. "Translate. Now." She holed up in a corner, sweat pouring like bay rain, typing like a maniac. 2 hours later, she handed it in, panting like she'd sprinted from the Golden Gate. Ethan skimmed it, grunted. "Decent." "Decent?" Lila gritted her teeth. "I'll show you decent." Next day, a surprise meeting with Japanese investors. Lila nailed the translations, even with Ethan cutting in. "Sure about that?" She shot back coolly. "Surer than yesterday's sprinkler not drowning you." An exec snorted, Ethan's face darkened. He piled on more, summarize a 100-page contract in an hour. Lila hunched over, fingers aching, but finished, slamming it on his desk. "Done, you hard-ass boss." Ethan checked it, gave a slight nod. She smirked inside. "Score 1 for me." Olivia, a blonde co-worker, swung by Lila's desk, giggling. "Heard you crashed into Carter's lap yesterday? Office legend." Lila flushed. "Don't remind me. I almost trashed the place." Olivia winked. "Keep it up, sprinkler star." Lila groaned. "More like disaster diva." But it wasn't all wins. By day 4, Lila was wiped. Barely 3 hours of sleep, eyes ringed like a San Fran raccoon. Ethan asked mid-meeting, "What did they mean?" She blurted in German, "Das ist gut," then jolted, "Crap, forgot English." Ethan pinched his nose. "Trying to drive me nuts?" Lila grinned weakly. "Learn German, it's dope." He glared like he'd combust, but his lip twitched. First hint of a smile she'd seen. The climax hit at the weekend meeting. A Japanese investor flubbed, $20 million instead of 200. Lila glanced at Ethan, waiting for his fix, but he stayed mum, testing her again. She took a breath, firm. "Sorry, it's 200 million, not 20. The investor winced, corrected himself. The room clapped. Ethan smirked. "Good." After everyone cleared out, he turned. "1 week, you survived. Don't get cocky." Lila slumped in her chair, exhaling like she'd escaped Alcatraz's whirlpools. "Not cocky, just trying to live through you," she muttered. Ethan stood, vest crisp, voice icy. Tomorrow's gala, you're with me? Don't embarrass me again. Lila nodded, thinking, gala with him? I'd rather dive into the bay. But his eyes held something odd, like San Francisco fog hiding a secret. She had no clue the real test was just heating up. Can Lila hang tough with a boss colder than San Francisco fog, my crazy Cali fam? From that faceplant flop in the men's room to a brain battle tight as Golden Gate cables. This drama's hotter than fresh Boudin sourdough straight out of the oven. Is Ethan just a jerk or a mystery man making your heart skip? Scream it loud in the comments. Will Lila crush it or crash and burn in front of this guy? Hit like if her safety check chaos had you laughing till it hurt, and sub now to see where this love train's headed. No sub, you'll regret it forever, I swear. Swing by Phil's Coffee for a triple shot. Maybe you'll stumble into the wrong room like Lila. Keep riding this wave with me, fam. San Francisco sparkled on a Saturday night like a postcard come to life. Lights from the Fairmont Hotel atop Nob Hill spilling down to the bay, mingling with the salty breeze and grilled fish aroma drifting from Fisherman's Wharf in the distance. Lila Bennett stood in the middle of the company gala's grand lobby, her snug teal dress hugging her frame, brown hair tied back in a messy run-and-comb style, not as glamorous as the black tie suits and red gowns around her, but still turning heads. Ethan Carter had barked, "Come with me, dress decent," Lila muttered under her breath. Decent? I'd rather rock a Phil's t-shirt. But when she stepped in, there he was. Sharp black suit cutting like a blade, hair slicked back glossy, gray eyes scanning the crowd like a Silicon Valley radar. Lila thought, this guy's straight out of Hollywood, not a CEO. The gala buzzed, clinking glasses, the faint scent of red wine wafting through. Lila translated a few lines for Japanese investors, eyes darting for a sourdough tray, her hunger's lifeline in this sea of strangers. But then she noticed Ethan wouldn't touch the wine. A waiter offered a glass of red, and he jerked back like it zapped him, face paling, before bolting to the balcony. Lila frowned. Allergic to wine or what? Instinct kicked in. She slipped after him, heels clacking on the wooden floor. Out on the balcony, sea wind whipped past, Ethan leaning on the railing, hands clenched, breathing hard like he'd just sprinted the Golden Gate. You okay? Lila asked, voice soft as waves below. He spun around, gray eyes dark. None of your business. She didn't budge, leaning beside him, hair fluttering wild like San Francisco fog. You're not okay, it's obvious. What's up? Ethan sighed, staring at the bay. I hate wine. Lila blinked. Huh? Freaking out over a glass? He went quiet, then his voice dropped low like deep ocean currents. It was there when I lost her. Emily, my fiancée. Car crash 5 years ago. I was holding a glass when I got the call. Lila reeled, like an Alcatraz tsunami had slammed her. This icy guy had a wound that deep? I didn't know, she whispered. Ethan's lip twitched, more sad than a smile. Nobody does. I don't want them to. She saw him, not the jerk tossing reports, but a man hiding pain behind a San Francisco ice wall. I get lost, she said quietly, but you're not alone. He glanced at her, eyes flickering, then turned away. Stop talking. His phone buzzed, he answered, and Margaret Carter's frosty voice crackled through. Who's that girl you brought to the gala? She's not good enough, Ethan. He hung up, face darkening, muttering, Mom doesn't call the shots. Lila caught snippets, thinking, who's this lady, and why is she so intense? The drama didn't quit. A week later, they jetted to Seattle for a tech conference. Lila clocked Ethan acting off on the flight, eyes glued to his tablet, ignoring her small talk. At the swanky hotel, its lobby glittering with Hollywood-style chandeliers, he snapped, Dinner with investors tonight. 8 o'clock, don't be late. Lila nodded, thinking, ordering me around like the Silicon Valley king again. After a tense dinner, Translating a barrage of blockchain jargon, they stepped into the elevator. Doors shut, Lila exhaled. I miss grumpy office Ethan over this creepy social version. He side-eyed her. You talk too much. She opened her mouth to snap back, but the elevator jolted. Boom! And stopped dead between floors 5 and 6. Lila shrieked, What the hell? Ethan punched buttons, deadpan. It's busted! She freaked, pounding the door. I'm gonna die in this box. What if the air runs out? Ethan stayed calm. Relax, it won't. Lila yelled. Relax how? Stuck in a dangling cage with you? If I die, I'll haunt you in German. He smirked. First real near laugh she'd seen. I'd rather hear you sing. She gaped. Sing? I'll bust this elevator just to mess with you. Ethan called maintenance. An hour to fix. Lila groaned. An hour? I'd rather jump into the bay. The air grew thick like San Francisco fog on steroids. Lila paced the tiny space, muttering, You're always this cold, huh? Except that night on the... She cut off, catching his eyes darken. Then, out of nowhere, Ethan closed in, pulling her tight. A kiss hit like half-moon bay waves crashing, intense as Cali noon sun. Lila froze, heart racing, then kissed back. His chill melted, leaving raw heat and desperation. The elevator lurched, hummed back to life, and they broke apart, gasping. Ethan straightened his suit, turned away, silent. Lila, flushed, stepped out, thinking, no forgetting that jerk. Next day, Ethan ghosted her, tasks via email, no FaceTime. Lila fumed, grumbling, playing hide-and-seek now? But she didn't know his ice wall had just cracked, and the real storm was brewing. San Francisco that night was crisp and cool, a sea breeze sweeping through the waterfront restaurant at Fisherman's Wharf, carrying the scent of grilled fish and salty air. Lila Bennett sat at the company dinner table, her black dress crumpled from a long day, gripping a glass of red wine, something Ethan Carter hadn't touched since that elevator kiss in Seattle. After that night, he'd dodged her for a week, dishing out tasks via email, colder than San Francisco fog in July. Lila snuck a glance, his gray suit crisp, gray eyes quietly scanning the investors, avoiding her. She thought, this guy's a pro at ghosting, but I'm not letting it slide. Dinner hummed with life, laughter echoing among the execs, the tangy whiff of Boudin's sourdough appetizers making Lila's stomach growl. Then Tom Bradley, middle-aged investor with bleach blonde hair and a shark-like grin, leaned toward her. Lila, you're not just a ace translator, you're a catch. Ditch Carter Tech, join my team. I need someone like you for my new project. Lila forced a smile. Thanks, but... Before she could finish, Ethan cut in, voice icy as Alcatraz waters. She's not free. The table went dead silent. Tom raised an eyebrow. Oh, thought she could decide for herself? Ethan set his water glass down, eyes flashing danger. She's staying here. Lila gaped. What? You're deciding for me now? Tom smirked. Interesting. Lila, come with me. I'll double your pay. Carter Tech doesn't deserve your talent. Ethan growled low. She's not going anywhere. Lila wanted to yell, Are you both nuts? But Tom pressed. I'll snag her, Ethan. Let's see who wins. The tension snapped tight as Golden Gate cables. Dinner broke up. Ethan stood and stormed off without a backward glance. Lila, fuming, chased him into the hotel garden, sea wind whipping her hair into a mess. What the hell was that? She shouted. Ethan turned. Nipping a problem in the bud. Lila's eyes widened. A problem? You think I'm some contract you need to lock down? He sighed, rubbing his forehead. He's trying to steal you, not just flirting. I won't lose you. She stepped up, jabbing his chest. Lose me? You've dodged me all week after that elevator kiss, and now you pull this she's mine crap? You don't own me, Ethan Carter. He stared, jaw clenched. You don't get it, do you? Lila snapped. Get what? That you like me but run? That you're jealous but play it cool?" Ethan went silent, eyes dark as the night bay. Then he closed the gap, pulling her in. A second kiss crashed over her, blazing like San Francisco noon sun, deep as Pacific waves. Lila froze, heart pounding, but when he pulled back, she shoved him. "No! You don't get to do that and vanish again." Ethan panted. "I'm done running. You throw me off, Lila. I'm not used to this." She blinked. "Throw you off? What's that mean?" He locked eyes with her, voice rough. "I love you. Since that bathroom meltdown, I've been hooked, but I'm scared of losing you like Emily." Lila grabbed his hand. "I'm not her. I'm here." The air stilled, only distant waves humming. Weeks later, Lila found out she was pregnant, thrilling and terrifying. She tracked Ethan down in his office, hunched over reports, sleeves rolled up in busy CEO mode. "Ethan," she called, voice shaky. He looked up. "What's wrong?" She took a deep breath. "I'm pregnant." He froze, coffee cup crashing to the floor. "What? Did I just wreck the place?" Lila laughed through tears. "You've already wrecked my life. Good enough?" Ethan rounded the desk, eyes sparkling. Not cold now, warm as bay sunshine. "For real?" he asked, voice hoarse. She nodded. 6 weeks. Yours." He dropped to one knee, hands trembling as they brushed her stomach. "Lila, marry me." She gawked. "Huh?" He looked up, dead serious. "Not just for the kid. Because I love you. Since you turned the sprinklers into a circus, I knew I was done for." She blinked, tears spilling. "You love me?" Ethan stood, pulling her close. "Yeah. Let me prove it." Lila smiled. "Then prove it." He kissed her, soft but firm. "I will." Lila knew his ice wall had melted and she'd stumbled into a whole new world, not just in him, but in herself. And Francisco basked in golden sunshine, waves lapping gently at Ocean Beach near the small home of Lila Bennett and Ethan Carter. After Ethan's mid-office proposal at Carter Tech, they tied the knot before Lila's belly ballooned like a boudin sourdough loaf. Their beachside wedding was a whirlwind, Ethan fussing over the schedule, Lila tugging him back. "Relax, it's perfect already." He kissed her. "For you, it's gotta be." Baby Emily arrived during a San Fran rainstorm, Lila screaming through labor. "You're never touching me again!" Ethan, hand purple from her grip, chuckled. "I'll take the hit. Just push." The little girl, brown hair and gray eyes, was named Emily, a nod to old memories, a fresh start. 5 years later, they moved to a suburb near Half Moon Bay, the Golden Gate faintly visible in the distance. At 5, Emily played piano like a prodigy. "Twinkle, twinkle, little star," floored Lila. Ethan crowed, "My little genius." They threw a small concert, her tiny tucks rocking Claire de Lune, bringing the village to tears. Margaret Carter, Ethan's mom, once Lila's harshest critic, showed up, fur coat soaked in rain. She eyed Emily, voice low. "I was wrong. She's incredible, so are you." Then, whispering to Ethan, "I stopped you from marrying Emily, scared you'd get hurt." I screwed up again with Lila. Ethan, stunned, squeezed Lila's hand. "Not anymore, Mom." Lila grinned. "Welcome to the team, Mrs. Carter." One rainy night, Ethan tried baking sourdough. Smoke filled the kitchen. Lila rushed in, yelling, "You run a company but burn bread?" Ethan, flour-smeared, laughed. "I'm better at loving you." Lila teased, "Good thing she didn't inherit your cooking." On the porch, he hugged her, watching Emily sleep, waves humming. "Since that sprinkler chaos, you've spiced my life more than Phil's coffee." Lila leaned into him, knowing from that first-day fiasco, they'd found joy. Not just for them, but for their piano kid, too. Team Lila or Ethan, my San Francisco fam? From that men's room faceplant to a Silicon Valley ice-melting kiss and a piano kid tugging your heartstrings, rate this story out of 10. Shout it loud in the comments. What melted you most? Lila's bathroom scream or Ethan's knee-drop proposal? Hit like if her OSHA check had you cracking up. Sub now to catch more drama tastier than Phil's coffee. No sub. You'll regret it forever, I swear. Swing by San Fran and grab some boudin sourdough with Ethan. It beats his management skills. Drop a heart, ring that bell, and spill. Ever walked into the wrong bathroom? Keep rolling with me, fam.